Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to discuss about the Kashmir issue. Kashmir is known as the paradise on the earth, but now the Kashmir is burned in the world. As the Indian occupied Kashmir, people's facing many problems in the Kashmir. If you look at the history of the Kashmir, then the Durrani Empire of the Afghan, they can rule the Kashmir from 1752 to 1819. But after the this empire, the Sikh conquest the Kashmir and they can empire the Kashmir for years. But after the Anglo-Sikh War in 1945, in 1845 and 1846, there this one can be goes to British Empire under the Treaty of Lahore, and later on Kashmir will goes to the Maharaja Gulab Singh under the Treaty of Amritsar, and the Maharaja would maintain the ruling over decades of years from 1846 to the partition of the subcontinent in 1947, as this is the Dogra dynasty. If we goes toward the history, then why this is the conflict? As when the British decided to partition the subcontinent, and India and Pakistan would become emerge as the countries in the world map, then there are 562 states which are advised to join India or Pakistan, or they can decide themselves to be independent. As there are many states which can decide if they will go toward the India or toward the Pakistan. But there are some states like the Junagadh, Mangrol, and Kashmir, and many others, and someone others which cannot decide how which where to go. As the main issue is the Kashmir. Why it cannot want to go to the Pakistan or India? As the Muslims percentage in that country in Kashmir in 1947 is 77% are the Muslims, 20% are the Hindus, and 3% are the Sikhs and the Buddhists. And the Maharaja is also a Hindu. When the some of the leaders forced the Maharaja to be goes to the India, but he think that if he goes to India, then the Muslim population becomes aggressive over it, and if he goes toward the Pakistan, then the Hindus were unhappy, and Sikhs were also unhappy. But he decided to be independent. Qaidism advised it to be the part of the Pakistan, and they can give them all favorable things. But the Maharaja wanted its state to be independent, as there are the number of groups and number of religions in the state, and it is impossible to go with one state and bringing a peace. So that some of the rulers of the neighboring Kashmir forced the Maharaja to go with India, and there are a large number of people are Sikhs and Hindus can slaughter the Muslims in the Jammu and Kashmir. But after that, some of the tribes from Afghanistan and from KPK and other, which are the Pathan tribes and others, Kabaili, we can say them Kabaili goes to the help the Muslim population in the Kashmir, and they can conquer the Kashmir, some part of Kashmir. After that, when the Qaidism hear the news of that the India, after hearing the news of the tribes coming to the Kashmir, India would enter its army into the Kashmir to occupy it. After hearing this news, Qaidism ordered his general to send army to the Kashmir, but he refused the order of the Kashmir as he was a British. So he refused the order of the Qaidism. The later on, the Kabbali's can conquer the some part of the Kashmir, occurred with the meeting with the Muslim conference, and later on 24 October, the Azad Kashmir government will come into being. and they can this come in Plandri Azad Jammu and Kashmir. As we all know that there is the wars between the Pakistan and India, and also between India and China between for the Kashmir. As the India control 55% of the occupied Kashmir, Pakistan administrated Kashmir is almost 20%, and the other, which is controlled by the China, is 15%. China control Aksai Chin and some other part. Pakistan control Sudnuti, Mirpur, and other some districts, and India occupied Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Siachen Glacier, and other. If we goes towards that history, then we will bring that there are three wars which were fought between India and Pakistan. As in the 1947 war is uh, fought between the India and Pakistan, and it is the dispute of the Kashmir for which it was war. But there is the line of a control uh, decided by the UN, and the two territories are either on their side. After that, there are in 1971 war, which goes to the Shimla Agreement, and 1999 war, which was the Kargil war, and 1965 is also a war. But if we look toward how the people faces in the Kashmir, then there is the ongoing very cruelties on the Indian occupied Kashmir. Uh, they can face many brutalities by the Indian government, and as they can be cruel toward the Muslims. They cannot give them the rights to live, and they cannot give them all the rights which are required by the humans. And many families are divided among the two sides of the line of the control. As in 2004, it was decided to meet the families to each other, but later on there is the Mumbai